And welcome everybody. It is Friday night, as it should be. I did not turn that computer off. Oh well. Hopefully Crisp is crisping out everything so you can't hear it. But yeah, I just barely got home in time to do this again. So yeah, I'm a busy girl. But it is what it is, right? So it's been a busy week, and it's going to be a tad bit busier the next 2 weeks because I'm moving. So this is probably, I'm not going to guarantee it, probably the last live I will do from in here. So I have no idea what the new setup is going to look like because I've seen the space and it's much smaller, but I don't know how I'm going to set everything up yet. So but I get to start from scratch, right? So that'll be fun. It'll be fun, but a little stressful because while I'm doing all this, I'm still working 50 hours a week. So the next 2 weeks are going to be a little bit hairy. And look who is first on the board. Roy. Good day, Sly. Good day, Roy. So I just caught the tail end of Peter's, and I keep forgetting it's cold where you are. It is broiling here. We haven't hit 100, but we hit 99 the last couple of days. And so at night, it doesn't get cool enough to cool things off before it gets hot again. So yes, it's broiling, but it is a good time to buy Christmas in July, right? And there's Mr. Camera Junkie. Hi, how are you? I watched your live stream. It was the same night because the chat wasn't up. So, and now I can't remember what it was about. That's very embarrassing. But it was like in the wee hours of the morning, like at 2 o'clock. So I work nights. And so even when I'm off and I try very hard to get back on a day people schedule, it doesn't really work so good. So Saturday night, I'm usually up all night. And then I try to sleep all day Sunday before I go back to work. So Louis says, cool, you get to set design. Yes. And so your lights, I clicked the link and I went to get them and I didn't finish the thing. And when I went back to finish it, they had gone up like 20, from 40 something to 67, right? So they came back down, but I was at work, couldn't do anything about it. And by the time I got home, they'd gone back up. I think they're back up right now. So I'm waiting for that. I'm sure for, what do they call it? Amazon Prime Days in July, the 17th and 18th. I'm sure they'll come back down. So I will get those. And Randy made it. Hello, Sly and everyone. I'm extremely happy to see you awake. It's 10:30 at night. Or maybe you have already had your nap and you're awake. And there's Sammy. Sammy, you're up late. Hey, everyone. You're up very late, young man. Thank you. Thank you for staying up and coming in and saying hey. So, you know, Peter was talking about Sammy finding bargains. Well, I'm all about the bargains too, right? And I'd been looking, and you know I like bags, right? It's just kind of a given. So I'd been looking at this company called Chrome Industries. And to be honest with you, it's because I like their logo, which is kind of a silly reason to want one of their bags. But yeah, I'm that shallow. So, but they're expensive. And so I never had really pulled the trigger on one because I don't obviously need one. But they had a sale. Okay. So I got one of their bags. Now, let me tell you what I paid. Let me tell you this whole story. And this is one of the reasons why I want to tell you guys about this, because when I find a company that addresses issues quickly and satisfactorily, even like beyond satisfactorily, I think people need to know about it. Okay. So this is my new little bag, which I love, by the way, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And it was $53.99. Okay. It's not a bad price for a bag. And this is the little version, the 14 liter. Well, I wait, it takes about, it comes from California, so I think it takes 7 or 8 days to get here. Not a big deal. So I'm looking at the tracking, and what have you, and I'm on their website and what have you. And lo and behold, they had gone down in price to where now this thing is like $35.97, I think. So I chatted with their little bot, and they were not pleasant. So the next day I emailed an actual person, like customer support person, and I'm like, hey, I haven't even gotten this bag yet. It was due to come that day. And I'm like, yo, you guys lowered the price. I don't even have my bag yet. Can I get the cheaper price? Or do I need to send this back and reorder at the cheaper price? Right? Within 2 hours, guys, somebody had responded, and they're like, of course, we'll just credit you the difference. Now, working with their automated chat thing, it was a completely different story. So, not a fan of their automated chat. But once you get a hold of an actual person, yeah, instantly. So, within 2 hours, they had resolved the problem. And because of their customer service, this comes in 2 different sizes and 3 colors. It comes in a black, a kind of a neutral, kind of an uncolored color. I think not sure what they call that. This is the Royale color. And whatever color the little zipper pulls are, is the color of the inside of the bag. So the black and the natural are kind of a gold color inside, which is really pretty. And this is kind of the gray inside, which I like them all, to be honest with you. So I ordered the bigger one because I'm thinking the 24 liter is usually big enough for me to put like one overnight change of clothes in. And I am moving, sort of. So I'm going to be living here half the time and here half the time. But the half the time that I'm on Friday nights will be up there. So all the camera stuff has to move up there. I will be basically sleeping here for work. Yeah, so I just don't have to drive back and forth. But, so I'm thinking the 24 will be perfect for one change of clothes. So that wherever I am, if I get stuck and forget which day it is, I'll have a change of clothes wherever with me, right? And then I ordered some of their like tech pouches, and I think I got a fanny pack. But anyway, the bigger bag is $39.97, and the little one is $35.97. And I think, don't get me wrong, let's see if I can check that really quick for you, because I think the bigger bag only, well, maybe I can't check that. Okay, never mind. I think one of the colors is sold out. So I don't remember if it's the black or the unbleached. I don't remember, to be honest with you. But I think it's only now available in 2 colors in black. So I think they're probably discontinuing it. But if you need a cheap backpack that is extremely good quality, you might look at Chrome Industries, and it's the Ruckus series. So much for that. That was my that's the biggest find I'm proud of. I also got some more Temu stuff, so I gotta kind of tell you about that too. But where'd my mousey go? Roy says, yeah, 10 degrees Celsius here. I have a feeling that's cold. Because I think you guys go from 0 to 100. with 0 is freezing and 100 is boiling. I think I could be completely, but that's what I remember from school, which was a very long time ago. So, and Louise says yes, Prime Day deals, July 17th and 18th, I believe. Randy says I ate dinner early and already had my nap. Yeah, that's awesome. Naps are amazing, and I wish I had more time to nap. I actually, I took a little 20-minute nap earlier today, so in the car. Mookie says July 16th and 17th is Prime Day deals. Okay, 16th and 17th. Randy says, I hate chatbots. Not very useful. No, they're really not. And they weren't very friendly either. And the customer service guy was very friendly. And he did a follow-up email 2 days later to make sure that everything was good. So, and I told him, I said, yes, in fact, it's so good that I'm going to make a video. And, but when I find a company that has excellent customer service like that, I've got to pass it on to you because there's so many that don't. Let's talk about one that don't. Actually, their customer service is okay. Not really. It's like, it's very hard to get a hold of anybody. But whatever you order, they'll let you return one item, no questions asked, and they just tell you to throw it away. So I've never had to send anything back to Temu if I've had a problem. Now, I will tell you, not one thing that I have ordered that was electronic or electrical or anything like it has worked. So you might be a little leery of ordering something electronic, okay? But everything that I've ordered otherwise, their clothing, I like. You have to be careful and read the sizes, but that's user error. That's not really anything that Temu would have control over. And then I found all these tech pouches. You know, I love pouches. And these are so cheap. Like this little job. This is just a good size, it's got some organization to it. It's just, I like the colors. It's got a little zipper pocket on the back for like cables and, flat stuff. And then it's got the meshy compartments here and then another zippered pocket up here. And it's not very big. Yeah, I'm thinking it wouldn't take up a lot of room in the suitcase. And it's soft, so it would compress or it would expand out depending on how much you put in it. $7. Okay. Now, to put that in perspective for you, I got these little jobbers, which I like these because they're not very big. My hand size, they're not very big. But they don't fall open because they're gusseted. So they don't fall open, which I like that. I actually have my camera, because I like bright colors. I actually have my camera in the yellow one. And I don't have to worry about it falling open. So I've got my little Osmo 4 and my batteries. And a cable to charge said batteries in case I need to. And then my little Tascam microphone in the back. So with that, I just throw that in a backpack and everything is protected and I can carry it and it didn't take up a whole lot of room. So $3.59. Okay. This is the Tom Talk. Now it doesn't have near as much organization. It literally has got two pockets on this side and then nothing. No outside zippers, no nothing. $15.99. $3.49. So I'm just saying. And these are not bad. So if you're going to order stuff from Temu, kind of You've got great deals on pouches. This one is even smaller, and it has, again, it's kind of similar to that one, only it isn't gusseted, so it does open all the way, but it's the perfect size for my JBL speaker and my little headphones. And so this goes in my backpack to work, because I work overnight, and so I can listen to music or YouTube or whatever I want to listen to. But again, $3 and change. I mean, they're just so inexpensive, but they're well made. So they take a long time to get here. They take at least 10 days, sometimes 11, depending on probably holidays or something. I think I ordered that before, like right around Memorial Day. And so it took like 11 days to get here. And then I got a hard shell case, which it's fine. I mean, it does what it's supposed to do. It's, just the case. What I was thinking was for my hard drive. But number one, it's way too tall this way. And it's hard shell, so it won't like pack into crevices, right? So, now this one, this was the same price as those other bags, and I really don't recommend this one so much. It's a nylon-y material on the outside. It's very, very, very lightweight, and it has oodles. You probably can't even see that because it's black, but it has oodles of little pockets on the inside, stretchy mesh and zippers, and even the little elastic things. But there's just not very much substance to it, so I wouldn't feel comfortable putting like my Osmo in here. So, just saying. And it was the same price as these other ones that I do feel comfortable putting it in. So, not a huge fan of this one. But yes, Temu is, I've been looking at kind of some of their EDC stuff, and some of their stuff is kind of janky. And then some of their stuff is okay. And they have opened a warehouse in the States. But so far, everything that I've ordered has not been at the warehouse in the States. So, yeah, go figure that. Randy says, the Chrome Industry bag looks great. I like the white or cream color ones. Yes. For under $40, it's actually really rugged. The bottom, which I like, the bottom is a heavier material. It's like it's a Cordura material, but it's heavier than what the front of it is, because you're always sitting it on the ground or something, and that's the part of the bag that takes the beating is the bottom. And it's got nice zippers too, so I like the zippers too. There's Charles. How you doing, bud? Hello, Sly. I have seen you have put out some content. I have not had time to watch it. I was listening. I tried to listen to one of yours at work, but it was one that I really needed visuals because I didn't have a clue what you were talking about. So I wanted to go back. I just haven't had time. Randy says, Sly, I need you to open that Chrome Industry. I need to see on the inside, please. Inside. Oh, yeah, right? So, one of the reasons I love this bag, it opens like the Bellroy. It's like a 3/4 zipper, because you have a water bottle pocket over here, so it stops here, but it goes all the way to the bottom on this side. And it's very minimalistic. I found a use for my lavender thing from Wandered. It goes really nice with the burgundy. But it's got a little bit of organization in here. Like, it's got places for pins, and then it's got a pocket here. And I guess this is supposed to be like for a tablet, maybe? I'm not really sure. But that's pretty much it. The rest of it is just pretty, it's all open, right? Your laptop, however, which I like this too because it keeps it separate. is in a little hidey pocket right here. And this is, what do they call that? Fleece lined, felt line. It's not felt, but it's like a fabric lined. So, and very, very padded both ways. So even I wouldn't worry about putting my laptop in here. Now you could, because it is got that lining, you could make this a CCW bag if you wanted to. But anything you put in here is going to be up against your back. So I think if it was something very bulky, you might feel it. So I have tried my laptop in here and it was absolutely fine. I didn't feel it at all. And the straps are another thing that is a winner chicken dinner. These straps just feel so nice. Like when I first put this on, I was like it fits right out of the gate. Like the straps are not so wide. Some of my bags have got really wide straps, and which is fine, except when you go to put your arms down and you've got this big old strap under your arm, it makes it kind of hard. But they're soft on the edges, so you don't feel it at all. And I ended up walking around work with this thing for probably an hour, and it was hot because they don't turn. The building is not climate controlled for the workers, it's climate controlled for the customers. Well, if there's no customers at night, they turn off everything. So we get the residual cooling from what they render in the day, but the building gets kind of hot in the come morning, and I didn't have any problem with this at all. My only complaint, and it's a very small complaint, and it's not one that will bother me because I don't travel that much, is the luggage pass-through. You have to turn the bag sideways, which not a big deal, because if you turn it like this, that's where your laptop is, right? So it's not a huge deal breaker, just something to note. But yeah, it's a very minimalist bag. It doesn't have the organization of some of my other bags, but I kind of like it because you're not, which section did I put that in? You know, there's just one and done, right? If it's not in there, there is a front pocket, which I also like. It's on like a curvy zipper, and it's just a big open area. And so I just keep my wallet and stuff like that in there. Stuff I need quick access to, it just all goes right in there. And this pocket is like down to here. So yeah, I'm just kind of impressed with this little bag. But I digress. Randy says, if you already showed it, I was browsing the link and looking to see what they have. Sorry. Oh, no, that's fine. Charles says, I love small pouches. That is what I use inside my Toomey bag. I just bought another Toomey backpack. Oh my goodness. And matching luggage, so I don't need my Toomey tote backpack anymore. Wow. See, I looked at that Toomey stuff, Charles, and it is extremely well made and extremely pricey. So, yeah, I'm more, that's like Ferrari level, and I'm more Chevy level. Randy says, cool, thanks. Charles says, I'm now traveling with Jasmine. I am currently on the beach in Pompano, heading to Atlanta tomorrow. That's cool. Getting out and getting around a little bit. It's always good for the soul, right? Charles says, traveling on Amtrak for the experience mostly. So, do tell, because I'm thinking about taking my little man from the Amtrak as close as it gets to me is Oklahoma City. And I'm thinking of taking him for a ride from Oklahoma City to Fort Worth. And I'm not sure how we're going to resolve the car seat thing, but we will. And then flying back. And that's going to be our big trip. I think he'll enjoy the train ride down or back. I don't think he will be into 2 train rides. I could be completely wrong, but I have a feeling, because it's about I think it's about a 4-hour ride down there. That's going to be about the extent of his tolerance level. And then he'll get to fly back, which it's a very, very short flight. And so I think he'll do fantastic on that. But would you take a 4-year-old on a train, Charles? And there's my buddy. Hello, fellow Okie. Hi, Sly. How are you doing? Haven't seen you in a long time, Kyle. You have been AWOL almost as much as me. So it's good to see everybody in here. And I don't... Oh, look at all those little thumbs up. I just love those little thumbs up. I don't usually look and see how many there are because I forget. But yeah, if you haven't, hit the thumbs up. So that's pretty much... Charles, have you shopped on Temu? Because I think you would like some of their stuff. Now, it is not the Tumi quality at all. Not even close. I don't think anything I have is the Tumi quality. I think the closest thing I have is probably that Hex bag that's... yeah, over here. And it is so well made that it's on the heavy side. So I don't really carry it very often. I have it if I need it. But it's like, it just sits up there because it's got so much padding and the material is heavy, and it's probably the heaviest bag I have. And I think the Tumi is on board with that as well. I think they're so well made, and the materials they use and everything are so nice that they're just a heavier bag. And if I'm lugging something around and I've got 20 pounds of camera gear, I really don't want to add weight to the bag to add weight. So I want it to be dependable and protect my stuff, but I don't want the bag itself to be... that is something that I kind of consider. Like that recycled firefighter bag. It's not that it's a really heavy bag. It is heavier than probably the rest of my everyday carry stuff, which is why it stays in the truck. So it's in the truck and it's got like things that you need, things that you want with you, but don't want to carry on you. Does that make sense? So I've got like wipes in there. You know, I do travel a lot with a 4-year-old who loves chocolate. So I carry wipes. We went to a dinosaur exhibit, and one of the things that they did was they had these plaster of Paris eggs, and the kids got to chip away with them and take a paintbrush and kind of dip it in water and, you know, make the plaster of Paris dissolve or whatever. It was extremely messy. Even as an adult, it was messy. And so I was very, very glad I had my wipes with me. So I do carry stuff that like the first aid kit in my truck is more comprehensive than the one that I carry in my backpack. You just don't know, right? If somebody gets a splinter or something, Granny's got tweezers, you know, it's just the bag I keep in my truck. And that recycled firefighter, guys, that thing will outlive me. It'll outlive my kids. It'll probably outlive my grandson. That thing is just hell built for stout, right? But it is because the material is a heavier material. It is heavier than my other bags. Now, it's comfortable to wear, but it doesn't have the organization, like, at all. So it's not my favorite bag as far as carrying it, but it is my favorite bag for putting it in the truck. So everybody should have, what is it? Marine X says the bag, the stuff you carry on you, the stuff you carry, he's got 3 levels of what he carries. I can't remember what they are. And there's Peter. Hi guys, made my smoothie. I did a good job. Well, did you make enough for everybody? Because the smoothie sounds really good right now. It's still in the 90s, so the smoothie sounds really good. Charles says, Toomey is expensive, just like Coach bags as well, but they are lifetime warranted. Thank you. That's another thing. Chrome Industries bags are lifetime warranted. And from my experience of dealing with them, I think they would honor that. Now, if the Ruckus is being discontinued, I don't know how they would honor it if they're not making the bag anymore. They would probably substitute a different bag if something on this bag failed beyond repair. Now, I don't know that they would try to repair it, but that would be my guess, is that you send it in, they try to repair whatever it is. If they can't, they send you a comparable bag, would be my guess. Not 100% sure. But, so, yeah, that was something, and in all honesty, Lifetime is great, but I get bored, and I'm probably not going to want to carry the same bag for the rest of my life. You know, I could conceivably go another 30 years, guys, maybe. So I just don't know that I want to have a bag that will last 30 years. I think 5 is like pushing it. Maybe. Peter says, yes, I made a smoothie for everybody. Thank you. Strawberry, please. Yours was especially good. I totally enjoyed it. Yeah. I know you didn't put strawberries in it. So, yeah. I'm not even really 100% sure how to make a smoothie, so, but I will probably be partaking in a bowl of ice cream, because that's kind of my preferred cold snack. My grandson was telling me, do not eat popsicles because your brain will freeze. So I had to explain to him, if you just don't eat them so quickly, your brain won't freeze. But he's convinced that anything that cold will freeze your brain, and so he won't eat it. So, vintage bags have character. Yes, they do. And I especially like, years and years ago, I had a leather, it wasn't a backpack per se. I'm trying to think, it had like handles. But that thing got so worn, and the more worn it got, the better it looked. So yes, I do agree with that statement. Peter said, Sly, did you get an email with an offer to be an affiliate for Temu? I got one and was surprised. They seem to be marketing more aggressive. Yeah, I have in the past, like several months ago, when I first started buying from them, I did. I did not accept it. So no, I'm not an affiliate with Temu. They have, it's like, what they call it, retail therapy. Things have been a little bit on the stressful side. So, and I can't go out and shop because I sleep all day, right? So my retail therapy is online, and it's, and Temu, I can do a lot of retail therapy on the cheap. So there's that. It's kind of like, their prices are actually cheaper than Ross, so I think I'm saving myself money. Randy says, Orange Julius was my favorite after Mocha Frappe. Yeah. So, is Orange Julius even still around? I know they used to be in the malls, and I think we only have one mall left here. Pretty much the malls have gone, you know, they're a thing of the past, but I think Tulsa has one mall left. The mall here in Muskogee is completely defunct. So we are getting a new store, and I cannot remember the name of it, but it's a huge, I think it's sporting goods, and it's from up north. So they're building, they took the, Sears has gone defunct out of the malls here. And so they took the Sears end of the mall and totally tore it down, and they've built their own thing and attached it to the mall. But it is huge. Like, super big. Peter says, I remember Orange Julius. Roy says, coffee ice cream. Actually, my favorite is cherry vanilla. That's one of the reasons I'm so happy about getting to move, is the Walmart here does not have a lot of the stuff I like. They don't have my son's juice, or my grandson's juice. They don't have the cherry vanilla anymore. You know, they carry stuff just long enough to get you hooked on it, and then they quit carrying it. And it's like, seriously? So, but the ones in the Tulsa and Broken Arrow area do have it. So, yes. So I have butter pecan, I think, in the fridge, and I got something called bunny tracks for little man, and he wouldn't eat it. It has a lot of chocolate chunks in it, but it was ice cream, and it's cold, and it'll make your brain freeze, and so he won't eat it. I don't know who told him that, but really. Isn't Temu in China? Yes, they are. They have made a big deal about moving or opening a warehouse in the States. I want to say it's in Nashville. Not 100% sure about that. But so far, everything I've ordered has not been in the States. So they said there's a warehouse here, and they have, like, if you go on their website, it'll say local warehouse, which local just means it's in your country. It's not what I would call local, but it's more local than China. And they're supposed to be stocking the warehouse, but so far nothing that I have ordered has come from my local warehouse. Randy says malls have gone belly up. Yes, I think that's a true statement. I'm not sure. I'm sure internet shopping has played a part in that. So, but you know, that was one of the most fun things is the mall in Tulsa. They had like a carousel that you could ride. They had, you know, it was just, they must have had 200 stores, and it was just fun to walk around and watch people and see what all the different stores had. And it was just now you had to have the time to do that. So I think that's why, you know, for teenagers, it's great, but for working people, it's a little bit harder to make it to the mall when you can just go on your computer and order it online. So, and pretty much everybody online now has pretty good return policies. So you're not really, now I have been ordering quite a bit from JCPenney, and they want to charge like $9 or $10 shipping. I'll just pick it up when I'm in Tulsa. I mean, that's a no-brainer for me. It doesn't have to come to my door, and I don't remember how long they'll hold it for, but it's never been a problem. So, yeah. Peter says, I still have Randy's coffee ice cubes in my freezer. Did you make him coffee ice cubes? That's nice. Charles says, mine and Jasmine's is Tolentino pistachio. Oh, yeah. Pistachio ice cream is bomb diggity. I love pistachios. Pecan pralines ice cream with caramel syrup. Now, see, I put caramel syrup on the butter pecan, so it's close to the same thing. The butter pecan, I think, tastes a little more buttery, maybe. I know I took a big mouthful, and it was like, I don't think it had pecans in it. I was licking off the spoon, and it was very buttery, because normally I put lots of caramel syrup on top. So Roy says, I never liked malls anyway, much prefer little shops. Well, the malls were fun if you to spend an afternoon, and it was an adventure. It was like an event. You didn't just like go to the mall to pick up one thing. The little shops, I think, are more of a, oh, I just need to run into the local drugstore and pick up, and I don't want to wait in the line of Walmart, right? So I'll run in the little local drugstore and just pick up some Band-Aids or something. And you go into Walmart, and that's it. Walmart has become an event. It, even with self-checkout, it still takes you forever to get out of there. So I'm not a huge fan, but it's a necessity sometimes. Charles says, I don't go to malls nor supermarkets anymore. I just shop at Amazon or DoorDash. Yeah, I probably do DoorDash more than I should. I was super tired last week and knew I needed to eat something. I hadn't been to the store, and so I DoorDashed a meal, and it turned out my neighbor across the street was my dasher. And so we both got kind of a laugh out of that. But Roy says, bunny droppings in ice cream. That's kind of what it looks like, honestly, except the chocolate chunks are like squared off instead. But yeah, it's vanilla ice cream, and it's got caramel and chocolate chunks, and I just really thought that he would like, it's very sweet, and I thought he would like it, and he wouldn't even try it. Made him a bowl, and he's just like, nope, it'll make my brain freeze. So now I've got to really work on trying to explain to him that his brain won't freeze. Yeah, he's being told a lot of things out of context. Nothing I can do about it other than try to reverse it when he's here. So Roy says, I'm still trying to work out what to do with Randy's coffee cubes. Well, you put them in for iced coffee. I don't know. Does Australia have iced coffee? One of the guys I follow is from Britain, and he does a lot of comparisons between American and English cultures. And so I don't know. Does Australia not drink iced coffee? It's kind of like iced tea, but for coffee drinkers. So I'm not a coffee drinker myself, but I am an iced tea drinker, big time. Big time. In fact, I think I'm the one that got Peter onto sweet tea. Excuse me. Roy says, we had $2 shops like US Dime Store, all being killed off by the internet. Yes. We had a one called TG&Y. I don't know what TG&Y stood for, but we always said it was toys, games, and yo-yos. But they had, they had a hardware section. They had, obviously toy section was my favorite. But they had all these different, it was just kind of like a variety store, but it was very small, right? And so that was kind of our big adventure, is when my mother would take us to TG&Y. We got to pick out a toy, and they were cheap. And Charles says, okay, guys, me and Jazzy are going to sleep. Must get up early to catch the train. See y'all next week. Thanks for coming in, Charles. It was great to see you. And tell your lovely lady hello. You'll have to post some pictures. Randy says, you put the cubes in a glass and add your favorite drink. Yeah. And Roy's saying, my favorite is more coffee. Well, see, it just makes it iced coffee, right? And so it doesn't detract from, it's not like watering down your coffee. Randy says, while I was in the Army, they never changed out the grounds. They just add more, right? I've got a guy at work that does that. Yeah. I don't drink coffee, so more power to him, whatever he wants to do. But he never changes out the grounds, which I think is weird. I mean, you wouldn't do that with a tea bag. You wouldn't reuse a tea bag over and over and over. So, yeah, I don't know. We have iced coffee. Okay, that's cool. Probably not this time of year if it's 10 degrees I'm going to have to figure out what 10 degrees Celsius is, but it sounds cold. I bet that's probably, I'm going to guess, in the 40s, high 30s, low 40s, somewhere around there. If 0 is 32, then 10 is probably in the high 30s. Cold. It's jacket weather. And here it's like you just walk outside and the heat just hits you, right? And it's a humid heat. So it's not a, it's not like being in the desert where, like when I went to Las Vegas, it was hot, but it was a very dry heat. And so you felt the sun, but it didn't feel like the sun was actually cooking your insides. When you add humidity to it, it feels like the sun, the heat is actually, you're in an oven. Yeah, it's just, so it is so hot I didn't even want to put little man in my truck today until I turned the air on and just let it cool down just a little bit. You know, not a lot, but just a little bit. And he has almost outgrown his car seat. So, yes. They had him, his mom just moved, my daughter. And so they had him in a booster seat. And he did absolutely fine. Seatbelt hit him where it was supposed to and all this good stuff. So he did really well. But, and I'm thinking I could probably take like a disposable booster seat for our little trip if we take the train first, and then it just wouldn't make it home with us back on the plane. So, because when we get back to town, somebody with a car seat would pick us up. So, yeah, if I just had like a little cheapy booster seat to set him in, I think that would be okay. But, you know, I don't want anything to happen to him, honestly, you know, obviously. Roy says Australian culture is a cross between US and UK culture. Okay, so you're as rotten as the Americans and as prim and proper as the British, right? That's from all the videos of his that I've watched. That's what it's kind of boiled down to. Like we wear t-shirts here a lot. Well, I guess in England they're considered undergarments. So I would be in my undershirt, and here that's just what we do. So I think their culture is just a little more formal than what ours is. But I see a bunch of like at the parades they do, I see a bunch of people in t-shirts. Now they're usually young kids, I will admit, but yeah. So I don't know. Oh, 10 degrees Celsius is 50 degrees. Okay. Well, 50's not that bad. 50's not like, I was thinking it was like in the high 30s, low 40s. Yeah, 50's not cold. It's chilly. 50 is hoodies weather. And I love hoodies weather. So, I like all the seasons. And thankfully, I live in a place where we have, like, yes, right now it is, you know, cook an egg on the concrete hot. But come fall, it will be more mild and hoodie weather, right? Kind of a light hoodie. And it'll get colder and get into more of a heavy hoodie. And then when spring comes, it's back to the light hoodies. And then we broil again. So, I like having all four of my seasons, right? It just, I've spent a winter in Arizona and the temperatures were very, very mild, like 80 degrees. And it never felt like winter. And I remember that the whole rest of the year was off for me because I didn't feel like I got my winter. So it's just what you get used to. There's people who live out there and their weather is like really mild or dry hot, and they don't have the cold that we have. And to them, that's absolutely normal. So now Roy, your seasons are a little backwards from what ours are. But I can't imagine it being cold in July. That gives snowbirds a new meaning, right? Go way across the pond and down under to escape the heat. But probably if I had the money, I would do that. Yes, just take a little trip to Australia and stay there from like June to September, and then come back to the States and miss all this 100-degree weather, which is extremely hot. But guys, I think that's probably going to wrap it up. Check out those Chrome bags if you're in the market for a bag. It's really good price for a really decent bag. And 37 degrees Celsius is our temperature here in the US. Is that I feel like it's higher than that. I don't know what it would be in Celsius, but I feel like it's higher than 37. I don't know if my thing will tell me. Stop it. Yeah, it won't go into it. It was 90. It says 94 today, but my car said it was 99. It says it's 84 now, but it feels like it's 90. So it's warm. Roy says hoping to reach 15 degrees later today. So I don't know the conversion. I'm not even going to try. If 10 is 50, is 15 65? 60? Yeah, I don't know. Because you guys go down to 0, right? 0 is freezing. So how in 10 degrees do you get from 0 well, okay, so that'd be from 32 to 50, from 0 to 10. Yeah, it's what Google's for. So next week is an iffy. It will depend on if I can get all this equipment moved in one day, and get set up and ready to rock and roll. So I may be on, I may not be on. I will try to get on Peter's and let everybody know one way or the other. It's going to be tight because I'm going to be moving everything that day. So, yeah. But I do wish all my American friends a very happy and safe 4th of July. That's coming up next week. And it's where normal people shoot off fireworks. In my neighborhood, they can't afford fireworks, so they shoot off guns. So hopefully I will not be here 4th of July. But I think that's a Thursday. So, but yeah, I will probably take a load up Thursday night and then be moving all day Friday. The movers are supposed to come Friday, but they have not confirmed that yet. So I kind of don't know what's happening. But I'm too old to move by myself, and all my children are busy, and so I just hired movers. It probably will save a whole lot of backs, and it's too hot to move, right? So just pay somebody, let them sweat and all that good stuff. And but I've got to get everything ready for them so they can just come in the house, pick up things, take it out to the truck. And so everything has to be cleaned out, and like all my dishes. I have a big, quite large china hutch from my mother, and it has to be emptied out, and has a lot of glass in it, so I hope they don't break it. But there's a lot to move, and yeah, so if I can get everything set up, it may be bare bones, but I will try very hard. If not, if you don't see me, just know that I'm in the middle of moving, and I will be back the week after. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming in and saying hey and spending an hour with me. And you guys really make my Friday night. So I'd hugely appreciate that. And until next week, guys, stay safe, and I'll see you then.